Hi, beautiful creatures. I'm gonna do a quick, possibly remember to hydrate. Quick, possibly not quick tarot card reading. And probably pass on a few messages from Arcturians, aliens, and Thoth, god of the moon, and writing, and knowledge, and magic. There's a lot going on in the world right now, but the message right now is not to fear. Looking inward, inside at yourself, all the things that you are and all the things that you were, and recognize those things. Bring those pieces of yourself back into alignment and into understanding. Sorry, I'm a bit sick right now. I've been doing a lot of purging. When you're sick, like when you have a cold, typically you are actually purging something within yourself that is actually affecting the soul as well, and it's causing effects that need to be mended in order to get to the great gold within. It's not easy to look at all your parts and all your pieces, but it is worth it. The Osiris card, Death and Rebirth. Sometimes you have to overwrite or dig a grave for pieces and parts of yourself that don't align with you anymore. I got this card signed at a Born of Osiris concert. They're a metal band, and they sing about Egypt and things needing to change and the truth in the world. And the fact that the world isn't exactly where it should be or where it could be. Us humans have free will, and we are not really making the best decisions. We're not making great use of our time. We're kind of setting a low standard for ourselves sometimes, and we're creating more harm than good. So sometimes we just have to sit back, because it does feel good to change your whole life, to take a part of you that you know doesn't serve you anymore, or that you've outgrown, and to kind of flush it out for a while. You can set that archetype, that part of you aside, because it's not the whole scope of you. That's not the whole planet. It's not, that's not the whole area. You know, because sometimes there are things that get us down, and we don't even recognize it until we take a minute and sit back, look at ourselves, and recognize that we have some shadows that we need to kind of shine a light on, so that we can get to the bottom of who we are inside, and remove any pieces that don't serve us, so that we don't live unhappy lives and pass that trauma and misalignment onto our children. So parts of us need to die so that we can truly live. Because one isn't granted the ability to pass on messages from spirit unless they've done a certain level of work. Shadow work is really important when it comes to like psychic connection and connection with God. There's like some terms you have to like, it's all about intention. If you have a good intention in life, God will or a certain intention, I guess. There's a specific intention that a soul can have where God really connects with the person. But one can change their perspective and have that intention, because when one has a connection with God, what people are talking about, I know it's very controversial, but people are talking about their connection with themselves and with the ultimate truth of oneself. Right now, like, spiritual people are really tired because we're fighting a lot of stuff. When we become aware and we become more powerful and versed in certain areas and modalities of healing, we're given more missions. And when you're looking inside, it is like, it's a quest. It's a journey. It's a deep dive into like an ocean, or unlocking a treasure box, looking into yourself. So you do find some beautiful things and some rarities that are worth integrating into your personality. Things can get really tough, especially when, like, if you have a narcissist in your family. It can be tough to break free from that, and if you suffer from addiction, mental health, if you're neurodivergent, it can be really tough, but rest assured, from what I've come to understand, we have a great ability to do great things. We're not only sick or ill, but we have a greater gift, a greater mission, and we have a greater sensitivity to the world that some don't have, and it means that we have a good heart, and we're caring. We're empaths, and we set out to do good. And then there's all these other different classifications and aspects of spirit that can be considered, such as being a starseed, an indigo child, rainbow child, crystal child, from like the Arcturian galaxy, Andromeda galaxy, Pleiadian galaxy. So yeah, there's a vast world to see inside of yourself. That if you're not seeking, you're not going to find it, because you have to give yourself that time looking inward intentionally to find these pieces. It's important to understand past lives, and I guess take the time to look back on your past, and even further if you want to go even to the next level. But yeah, life gets weird sometimes for us spirituals. If you're new to this, let me know, because really we're out here with Jesus Christ. We're out here with the gods and goddesses of our time, and of way ancient times, but they've come along with us here so that we can bring about way better harmony on Earth. Because we haven't been where we need to be. We've honestly been in a state of peril, but we don't even recognize it. We don't even recognize the pain that we're in. We don't recognize the deep ocean, the deep darkness, and the despair that we're living secretly. Because everybody's okay with how things are. Because our chains, they're all decorated with shiny, material, worldly pleasures that don't exactly serve you in the end. So there's a lot to know about spiritual protection. If you just consciously imagine, like in the mind, a protection barrier around yourself, like a barrier of light, and it's a shield that prevents any harmful energies from getting in, preventing spiritual depletion, pretty much just harmful energy transfer, taking on these energies and giving out your light or your energy. We want to prevent from that. So that's what the shield of light will protect you from, other people's energies. It will protect you from giving out your energy. You can also call on one of the archangels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Sandalphon, to put a protection circle or shield around you. They're very helpful. They've saved my ass like quite a few times. Because when you go into certain situations and you have anxiety, but you know that it's a route that you can take to progress further in your life, but you're scared to do it, the angels can protect and prevent you from, failure, from not being able to complete or achieve that goal or desire. Genesis. It's kind of a movement, I would say, that people are remembering which gods they associate with, which which goddesses and deities they associate with. Everybody's kind of starting to, not everybody, but a good majority of people are coming into understanding and re-understanding gods and goddesses and integrating them into their life. Because it can be very preventative and enable a great sense of being on the right path and knowing that you're doing the right thing that will help you earn the wisdom that you need to become everything that you're meant to be. But I think I'm gonna end the. I'm so tired. I'm gonna end the reading here. Meditating is very important. Going into your mind and just exploring that. You can call on your higher self and explore your ego. You can explore with your inner child. You can ask questions. Just you can just state in your mind, like, I'm asking my inner child, like, what do you need to convey? What do you need to say? Ask your inner child what they need to say and what you need to hear to grow and develop. What you can release. What can I release? What can we work on? What can we do to protect each other, your higher self and your inner child? What can they both do to protect one another? You can meditate on that. I meditate. Meditation is very important. Meditating for 3 to 4 hours a day is not weird. That's actually quite normal, especially when you're on a self-exploration journey and you're deep in it. It can really help recreate yourself and bring you to a state of remembrance, self-remembrance, and self-reconciliation. You reconcile with your inner child about the pains that they went through, and then you can even go one step deeper and check out your past lives and see what back in those days that you need to still heal from that is lingering around in your DNA. Not to mention generational trauma that you have to clear. That's a must. Breaking away from old norms and conditionings and teachings. Becoming one with yourself and in union with your higher self, not in union with humans that don't have it right. So what they taught you wasn't exactly necessary for your ultimate truth. It's a very modern and almost unevolved way of living because they don't have the key to understanding your specific mission. So they guided you off of that mission through their I want to put this nicely, but just misinformation. Their old teachings, old and maybe not useful anymore, because they were like lacking in spiritual evolution. They're lacking in like spiritual evolution. It was like underdeveloped, I guess, their viewpoints and their way of life is like underdeveloped. So, because I don't think everybody's parents had tarot cards or prayed every day or manifested or meditated. But I've noticed that it's very important to do so. It's very important for your life, and it's one of the ultimate truths of life is what we're supposed to do here. Is we're supposed to grow and learn and forgive ourselves and forgive others. We're supposed to enlighten into our truth, ourself. We're supposed to open our eyes to our soul and become whole. We plant like new seeds over old seeds that weren't like weren't going to be fruitful. They weren't going to produce grapefruit. They were going to produce rotten fruit that corrupted us. Spiritual protection mechanisms are very important. We're here to clear the darkness, and there is darkness within everybody, whether you recognize it or not. There's darkness in your family, like bloodline. There's darkness in your heart a lot of the time and causing ailments. Darkness in your kidneys sitting in your body. Darkness, from old worn out systems that don't serve us anymore, because it's a new time in history to change, or we're, gonna go through more pain if we don't make the difference within. There's not gonna be much of a difference without. We have to come into a state of wholeness so that we can ultimately progress. In terms of evolutionarily is what I was gonna say. I make up my own words sometimes because again. But anyway, clear out any resentment, shed any tears that you need to shed. Look into your heart and figure out what you can about yourself to heal it, so that you can reveal the gold that is hidden beneath pain, trauma. Very important to do these things for yourself so that you can be freed from dis-ease and ailments. If you do the shadow work, and emotionally and in your heart and in your whole mind, in your whole being, you're healthy. You'll be healthy in your body. Have a great exploration into your great inner sanctum, into your inner kingdom of creation. Keep seeking. Seeking is important, because then you find things that you really need, and maybe sometimes you didn't know you needed.